Last week I started speaking about the role of Eliyahu Hanavi when Moshiach will come. The meaning of Eliyahu Hanavi, as I mentioned, is the Rambam himself writes that it's one of those things that it's unclear exactly what he's going to do, what his role will be. There's a machlekes in Mishnah, what exactly he's going to come to fix up yichus problems, different families that were allowed to intermarry that weren't supposed to, or vice versa, come to make Sholom in the world.
You have little goyim also.
Basically, it's not talking about not intermarriage.
It's not talking about inter. It was mishpachas that are psul mamzeres. It's talking about a psul mamzeres, or an eved or a mamzer. It's not talking about
Eved is Eved
Knani is a technically he's a yid, but he's
married.
He's not a yichid. Yeah, it's a different yichus is.
It's a problem with Ken and Levine. It's a very serious problem. In Abedin.
That's what I was asking. If you're talking about goyim also,
basically it says it's talking about that.
Yeah. So then the Rambam like
That's he told me he's not going to valid who's a yid.
Mishpacha is not but pashtus means that a mishpacha that is Jewish but is a psul mamzeres. The Rebbe at this one said a remark which we can't. Which was mashmash that even the goy, the same thing applies. But I don't know what that means. That means that he'll have to go through a gatus, but they're not going to publicize the place. Shows this man. That is mamashak.
They lived the Yidden his own lives, and the children live Yidden, so then they go to gatus, and that's it.
I don't know. No, that's to say that not going to need. The Rebbe just once said a remark by dollars. Tafshinun. They're very understanding. Someone's Rebbe said a remark, the Rebbe not dafke meant, or the Rebbe uses the Lashon, sing about the Goyim like coming up from Russia. So Lashon is keeping shit like until Moshiach comes. Whatever. From the Sugya, the Rishonim Achronim doesn't seem that there's any way of learning that it refers to Goyim Gemurim. But I don't have, there's no answer. The Rebbe said, the Rebbe never, was master what he meant. But so like I mentioned last week, just important to understand, the Rebbe gives a whole different perspective on this whole argument, what Eliyahu Hanavi will do, that it doesn't mean that there's an actual argument what he will do, what he won't do. The Rebbe says you can't have an argument b'mtzias, you can't have an argument in a fact, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. The argument rather is, what is the Eliyahu Hanavi will do many things. The question is, what is he going to do? Which thing is he going to do, which is directly connected with his special mission that is connected with Bias HaMashiach. The truth is, so Mamela, everything is true. The question just is, which Inyan is the Inyan that's something by itself that Eliyahu Hanavi will do, which is nice and beautiful and important, but it's not relevant to Mashiach. And what is the things that he's going to do that is relevant for Mashiach? As the Rabbi mentions, one opinion says the whole Inyan of Eliyahu Hanavi that is connected with Mashiach will just be, there'll be Mavaser HaGeula, will come and say, right before Mashiach comes, you get ready, and Mashiach is coming. Now,
Pashtus Pasuk means Beheshiv Levavos. He's going to be Beheshiv in Yiddishkeit.
The Rebbe says, Einach Nami, but the Rebbe learns Pshat that Hadrin, the Beheshiv Levavos Abana. Pasuk 2 Psukim, Minenech Shalech Lechem Eliyahu Hanavi. Beheshiv Levavos Abana. The question is, Beheshiv Levavos Abana, again, obviously he's going to do. But the shaila is that his shlichus is once he's coming, he's already Beheshiv Levavos Abana, Lebanim Alavaysa. Or is that what he's coming for? Then the question is, what means V'heishuv le'vavos al-bonim? The Rebbe speaks about it. It's an interesting view of the Rebbe, the perspective of the Rebbe and the whole thing. But anyway, when you look at B'chlad, in Yonam, Eliyahu Hanavi, the Gula, see that there's many things. The Rambam, the Mishnah quotes a few about yichus, families that were mixed in, or about making peace. There's many midrashim about the role that Eliyahu Hanavi will play in the Gula itself. And for example, we all know, like the Tishbi Yataris Kushisi boys, all the questions we have now in Torah, it says Eliyahu Novi will answer. You have to wait until Eliyahu Novi will come. There's in a lot of the inyonim that some places, certain things that are attributed to Moshiach are said to happen through Eliyahu Novi. That he will fight wars, he will help the Yidden. So there's again, the Rambam himself writes, you can't know exactly what's going to happen until it will happen. I just want to discuss some of the inyanim that Eliyahu Novi will do and what his role is. Like I mentioned last week, I'm going to start from the backwards, forwards. In other words, start with the Bir Ha'inyan before I get to starting to discuss different details about what Eliyahu Novi will do. What is Bechlal the role of Eliyahu Novi? If you have Moshiach will be, the Rambam explains that Pasuk describes Moshiach with such great qualities that even Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't have. Besides prophecy, which no one could match Moshe Rabbeinu, when it comes to other qualities, the Rambam writes, from Sukkot the Rambam brings, Eibshik calls Moshiach, you're my son. Until in Perek, many different Nochal of Ruach Hashem, Ruach Achmul Bina, Hine Yaskalav, the famous psukim that everyone about Moshiach, that tremendous qualities. The question is, what do you need Eliyahu Novi for? Won't Moshiach be able to figure things out on his own? So, to sidetrack, I would just say that the truth is that if you do look in certain sources, you will see that Moshiach won't necessarily do everything on his own. Many sources speak about Moshiach ben Yosef. Yeah, the Rambam doesn't mention a word about Moshiach ben Yosef, but you have Chassidus mentions it, the Zohar mentions it, the Gemara mentions it, Midrashim are full of Moshiach ben Yosef. It's interesting. I saw today in the Yaakov Moshiach Gula al Altair brings on the Megala Mukis with Yosef and his brothers. He was telling them the dreams that he had. So his brother said, Hamalech Timlech. He also is very interesting up here. The Muslim he brings says the brothers told Yosef, you think Hamalech Timlech Alein Mashal Tim Shavon, I think will be a ruler over us. So he explains. Yosef was saying, Yosef's smile he was saying that that you're gonna all the bundles of wheat bow down to me, and the heaven, the sun and the moon bow down to me. Yosef knew that from him will come Moshiach ben Yosef. Rashi brings the beginning of Parshas Vayeshev that one spark will come from Yosef that will destroy all Yosef. But Pashtus, the Chayre, goes to Moshiach ben Yosef. It's brought out many Midrashim that the descendant of Yosef will come and he's going to be the one that will destroy the Roman King Empire. And today we don't have Roman empires in Rome, but it's represented by the superpowers of the world. So the brothers told them, true, Hamal, but they said eventually the kingdom won't remain by you. Eventually the kingdom will go to Moshiach ben David. So they said, Amalech Timlech Alein Moshe Dein ganze Gadlus. They were telling him, you're not going to be the eventual ruler over us. It's going to be David. So don't. Very interesting. It explains that a Muslim going on with Yosef and his brothers around us, connected with Moshiach. But getting back to over here, you do have a number of sources. You definitely have that Moshiach is not going to do everything on his own. There'll be Moshiach ben Yosef. There'll be Eliyahu Novi. There'll be others. If you look at Midrashim, it's interesting. There's different names. Probably no one ever heard of. There'll be Sraya. There'll be someone from Sheva Dan by the name of Sraya that the Zohar says will help Moshiach ben Yosef. Whatever. There's a number of the Bnei Reuven are brought on Midrashim. We'll do Muhammad's Bnei Moshe. There's the 10 tribes that are hidden, and then a number of Midrashim says they'll come and wage war to break down the Goyish kingdoms. You have in a number of Midrashim. There's besides Moshiach ben David, there's a lot of importance given to other people that will, so to say, help do the process. We have a famous Gemara in Masechta Sukkah. The Gemara brings there a passage that Zechariah Hanavi says that Hashem Shorim Arba Choroshim, 4 Choroshim face, carpenter face. So again, the thing they're going to cut off the horns of the nations of the world, the Malchus, the kingdoms of the nations. Who are the 4? Moshiach ben Yosef, Moshiach ben David, Eliyahu Navi, and Shem, the son of Noach. What's the Shaykh, Shem, the son of Noach? Then the Gemara says there's going to be the 7 princes, the 7 shepherds, 8 princes. Presumably, it seems there's going to be different tzaddikim in the times of Moshiach that will also play a role. But the Rambam doesn't mention a word about it. But the Rambam does mention about Eliyahu Navi. And also many places, although we know that in a number of Midrashim we focus on Moshiach ben Yosef and we speak about him, and Chassidus even, also Chassidus mentions him here and there, but Eliyahu Novi is something which is a much stronger focus on. Just want to focus, what's the role of Eliyahu Novi here?
It can sein, ich sage nicht, before Moshiach kommt, then it says 3 days before Moshiach comes, before. Once Moshiach comes, is going to be a small shadow. The scammers on.
So the evidence is that Inyan...
It's going to be like a vice president.
So the Inyan, you're right. Inyan is a Savad. It's a very strong Savad.
There's some days...
But Pashtus is the Stakazai. But Pashtus, the Inyan of Eliyahu is before Mashiach comes.
No, but 3 days. This 3 days.
That's 3 days. It's not
3 days. It's a short time.
No, a Jahrzeit.
A Jahrzeit?
That's not from the Hotten as I line.
Ich habe schon gehört, dass Jahre so heben. Ich habe schon
Länger kommen. Über 20 Jahre zurück.
But the Pashtus Yitaka right, Dina of Eliyahu is Hachana to Mashiach. However, I would say that from certain sources it's clear that even after Mashiach comes, Eliyahu is still going to be involved. L'moshel, Chias HaMesim, yeah? Chias HaMesim you will say will happen through Mashiach, but in certain places it says it's going to happen through Eliyahu. That's definitely after Moshiach comes. But even if it's Achana from Moshiach, it's important to understand the role of Eliyahu. So you have, first of all, what I'm saying, the mocker that I could rely on is the Maram of Prague. He's not saying these aces, but the truth is not only, other places Chassidus also mashma zay. Chassidus on Eliyahu is very deep concepts on... But one Akudim Pasha says like this: you would have Moshe when Yidden were taken out of Mitzrayim. There was Moshe Rabbeinu and there was Aaron, right? Moshe Rabbeinu went to Pari and it says Aaron achicha yeh neviyacha. Aaron played a crucial part in the Geula. Aaron went when Moshe Rabbeinu went to Pari. Moshe told him the words of Hashem and the way they are. And Aaron was ready. He rephrased it. He touched it up. He brought it down to Pari's level. Similarly, in the Hanhog of Yidden Bechlal, it's a very famous sugi. I'm sure people have heard about this. The Rebbe Sich has spoken about in Kotei Teir, and thus that in Avodas Hashem there was in the leadership of the generation of the Midbar, you had Moshe and Aaron, and each one played a very important role. Moshe Rabbeinu's inyan was emes. Moshe Rabbeinu was to tell you the words of Hashem. Aaron was the peacemaker, right? We all know that used to go, two people are fighting, used to go and say, your friend wants to make peace. He's embarrassed to say, I'm sorry. He's told that to the other guy. So he used to make peace. Moshe Rabbeinu's inyan wasn't to be mislabish, so to say, to enclose himself in all the nitty-gritty petty fights that were going on. Moshe Rabbeinu's inyan was to lift Yidden up to a higher level by revealing godliness. Well, you have Chassidus explain, Sheshvina de Malko, Sheshvina de Matranisa. Moshe Rabbeinu's inyan, if you could put it in these words, was to reveal godliness from above to below. His inyan was to bring down the word of Hashem down here. His inyan wasn't so much in working with the tachtim, with the lower Yidden, the way they are, and their level, and within their, world, and their own human emotions and everything, to try to deal with them and, farbreng with them, whatever, to make them a keli for the Giluyim Omayla. That wasn't mainly his inyan. The one that did that was Aaron. Aaron Chassidus explains the Sheshina de Matranisa, just like by a chuppah. You have those that bring the chas into the chuppah and those that bring the kala to the chuppah. There's those that bring the mashpia, those that bring the makabel. One's inyan is to make that the mashpia should be mashpia. One's inyan is to make that the makabel should be able to be makabel. So Aaron's inyan, Aaron was Sheshina de Matranisa. He elevated Yidden Umatal Amayla. He prepared them that they should be ready for the revelation from above that Moshe is giving them. And you see in their personalities, they were very different. Like you find, the Rebbe explained in the Sichos, Moshe Rabbeinu was emes. Emes doesn't know of playing games, of coming and telling the guy, this guy really wants to make peace. Emes tells you there has to be peace, but to go and sit, Aaron had to be meshane. Aaron had to say a shtickle a sheker. He had to say, he really wants to make peace with you. That wasn't true, but he did it in order to make peace. He told each party.
It wasn't really true, but it was to a deeper truth.
You're allowed to be meshane. You're not allowed to say. You don't have to say the full truth.
The Rebbe touches over there. It's not Mishana. It's Mishana did Mishana.
Good, but I'm saying, but the Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't allow himself to do that. Moshe Rabbeinu's level, it was pure truth. The way it is Momayla Lamata. There wasn't So, al derech zeh, there's a number of Mekaydos which compare Eliyahu Navi Moshiach to Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron HaKohen. Moshiach's inyan is to reveal the inyanim, to bring down all the Giluim of Moshiach. Aaron's inyan is al derech Aaron HaKohen to prepare, Eliyahu Navi's inyan is al derech Aaron to prepare the Mekabel, to prepare the Yidden that they should be ready for Mashiach.
Okay, that's all before.
So l'chayra that's all before. But the truth is, the same way by Moshe and Aaron, be'emes, you had Moshe, be'emes, even when they were in after Matan Torah, you still had the differences between Moshe and Aaron. You still had that Moshe had getan einay from that way. The Aaron didn't. For all 40 years, you had Moshe and Aaron side by side. Each one had a different effect on the other.
Maral says this?
The Maral doesn't. Maral says
the
Maral says the comparison between Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron to Eliyahu Navi Mashiach is I'm not using the Isis of the Maral. The Maral uses the Tzura and the Guf and the Nefesh, whatever it might be. They look in Netzach Yisrael Perek Nun Gimel. But the Etzem Inyan, yeah, we have in Chassidus also. Chassidus speaks a lot, and to use other Isis maybe, which are not mamish, the same thing like I said before, but also ties. And Chassidus speaks a lot. What's the difference? There's different in Yonim really with Chassidus. If you get really deep, Taki gets Eliyahu Navi is pretty high up there. But the Pashtus Eliyahu, the Chassidus says, who was higher, Eliyahu Navi or Moshe Rabbeinu? So Chassidus says, Eliyahu Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't go up beside Hashemaim, he didn't go up with a storm to heaven. He had to be buried, his body was buried. Eliyahu Navi, on the other hand, he went up with his body to heaven. He became whatever Pshat is. He became a Malach, whatever point of Pshat is. So Chassidus says, Mitzad Moshe Rabbeinu's Milo was in Gilui Oir HaNeshama. That his Neshama, when he was born, it says, his mother saw Kitayvu, that the light of Neshama lit up the whole house. In the revelation of Neshama, Moshe Rabbeinu, the Guf wasn't Bechlal, his body didn't conceal the light of the Neshama. The way his neshama was upstairs, that's the way it shone down here. However, there was Mitzad Eliyahu Navi's level of neshama was not the level that came close to Moshe. But his ma'ila was in birur haguf, in refining the guf itself. Moshe Rabbeinu, that his guf wasn't a concealment, didn't have to really deal with his guf. His main thing was his gilui yada neshama. Eliyahu Navi's ma'ila is in birur haguf. So, from one level, from one side, Moshe Rabbeinu is much higher. But Mitzad Sheni, when it comes to the refinement of the physicality of the world, Eliyahu Navi reached the ultimate. So there's a certain nekuda that Eliyahu Navi, although he's lower, but he has a certain mile even Lagabi Moshe. And al derech zeh, I would venture to say, if you know, the derech efsher, I mean, the truth is, mashma is like a good klor in Chassidus, that al derech zeh la'aseh level, in order to reach the revelation of Moshiach, the truth is, Moshiach will also have the mile of birur haguf. That's why I don't want to finish krichen dorten right now. But Pashas, Eliyahu Navi will come before Moshiach. Eliyahu Hanavi's inyan is to be mezachich to tachten. And Moshiach's inyan is al derech zeh, there's many pratim which you could see that. I'll just give you a few dugmois. So Eliyahu Navi and Moshiach will both help us understand the Torah, right? It says Eliyahu Navi will answer all the questions that there are in Torah. Tishbi Torah's kushis boys. Moshiach is going to reveal Torah Chadasha. Moshiach will reveal the deepest secrets of Torah that were never revealed before. So, if you think about it, you see why can't Moshiach? Why do we need Eliyahu Navi to answer the questions? Why can't Moshiach answer the questions? So, there's a number of points here. There's a technical point which. Certain things, Eliyahu Navi Pasha, Eliyahu Navi Loi Meis, he hung around in all the yeshivas, and all the mesiftas, ever a shaila, was some of the Chachmi HaGemara gemeint, what did the Chachmi HaGemara think? Eliyahu Navi was there, so he could tell us. It says Eliyahu Navi, there's certain things that says that even, you have, I don't want to confuse people with what they've heard until now, but you have certain words in the Torah have dots on top of them, right? So one way of learning, which is according to, is that guf is halacha l'Moshe Misina, that it should have dots. Well, there's certain places it's mashma that the dots is because we're unsure of the word. It says that Ezra put dots, Ezra Sefer put dots in certain words. It says if Eliyahu Navi will come and tell me, why did you write this word? Really, it's supposed to be another word. So I'll tell him I already put the dots to show that I wasn't sure if that's the word. To say, when Ezra Sefer wrote the Torah, ich will nicht da rein in the ganze Meis mit Chasedus, wie Chasedus mit alles Ding. But when the Torah was written, according to some opinions, not to all opinions, some opinions, there was a doubt in certain words. So Ezra put dots on them to show that there's a doubt on it. So he said, why did I put the dots? And if Eliyahu will later come and tell us that the Messiah is wrong, so I'll tell him that I left it, hanging in the balance. So he said, Eliyahu he was there by he was there by Matan Torah, but he was a Talmud of Achiash, and Achiash Lenin was there by Matan Torah. Eliyahu al Derech Zeh says many so certain things Pasha Eliyahu Navi, it says in certain places also about Eliyahu Navi hung around the Mesiftis, and he could tell us what certain information that was lost from us. He could tell us because he was there. But then there's another nikud. The Chassidus says that Eliyahu Navi, this is another nikud. Al pi Chassidus, Eliyahu Navi is a level of das. It says the Samach Tzedek says he found in Tzanat Rebbe's Maimorim that it's I don't know if there's an earlier source that he found in Ksov. Eliyahu Navi is a level of das, and you have in the Zohar already. It says that same way Aaron was the Navi was the translator of Moshe, so to Eliyahu Navi is going to be Moshe Rabbeinu. The revelation of Torah through Moshe Rabbeinu is complemented by Eliyahu Navi. Same way when Moshe spoke to Paro, his words of Paro were complemented through Aaron. So Eliyahu Navi,
Moshe Rabbeinu is Mashiach.
Says Eliyahu Navi and Moshe, not Mashiach.
So Eliyahu will be
Eliyahu Navi is the Talmud Chaver of first Eliyahu Navi. It is Pinchas Eliyahu. Depends also. If you say Pinchas is Eliyahu, so he was a Talmud of Moshe, and he was the one that, in other words, he's not pshat that he knows more than Moshe, obviously, but he's going to be the one that will be Moshe's mouthpiece, so to say. He'll be the one to explain all the questions of Torah.
Why is he going to need?
Huh?
Why is he going to need?
A translator, because he's going to be very high to the Oilom at that time, maybe.
Why is it going to be a need for Aaron instead of for Eliyahu instead of Moshe?
Yeah, by Moshe.
So first of all, so if you say that Eliyahu comes before, yeah, in Ochanami. Moshe steht in the Zohar. Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't lower himself. I think the Zohar, I could be mistaken, I think the Zohar says that. The Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't lower himself to be Mavad. Eliyahu is able to, he's his mouthpiece to explain everything.
Even though it's Rabbi.
No, it's before Mashiach's coming. Mashiach already, the whole world will be misbonded in a high level. They won't need it.
So let's say Pasha. Anyway.
In Pasha's
it
doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they didn't be in a level that they won't need all these things.
1 second. Let's do one thing at a time. So you have in my Maimorim explained that Eliyahu is a level of das, and there's an interesting word which means to say like this: when you have a question, how to understand pshat in something, right? There's one thing is that Eliyahu Pashat has information, Then there's the Indian that in order to understand pshat, you need to have das. So there's two ways of looking at something. How are you machriya? How do you? I don't know how you call them. The one that I don't know how you say it in English. The middle guy, the one that comes to the right conclusion. How are you able to do that? You need to have the level of das. You can have sometimes you could look at it like that, you could look like that. You need to have to be able to really understand the thing, to recognize and feel the thing itself, to be able to really get what it is. So it says Eliyahu is a level of das. That's why Tishbi Taras Kushis boys. According to that pshat, it's not pshat. Eliyahu will say, "This is what Torah says. This is the answer. You had a doubt. I'm coming to tell you this is pshat." No, according to this is very deep. It's a much very different thing. Eliyahu will give us the insight to understand how to learn Torah in a way that we will be able to answer the questions. Now that we have doubts and questions, why do we have doubts and questions? Because we're missing a certain level of understanding that could penetrate and give us the proper way of understanding which way to go. Eliyahu is a level of das, so he will give us the das as Hashem that we'll be able to get to the bottom of Torah. Lav dafka means that every single shayla I'm saying it's Chassidus uses this understanding, this explanation of what Eliyahu will do. Now the shayla, and the Chassidus says that the Mullah to say it's Hashem will happen through whom? Through Eliyahu.
Molo, it's this Hashem.
Will happen through Eliyahu, because Eliyahu is level of das. We all know, Chassidus tells us who's going to bring a Mola to Hashem will be Moshiach. Right? So again, what I would say, B'derech Efsher, based on what we're saying Tuna, that each one has a role, they work together, but they're on different levels. Eliyahu, he doesn't say anywhere that Eliyahu will reveal Torah Chadasha. Right? Eliyahu will answer the questions. The difference, when you have questions in Torah, the questions in Torah means the Torah that we have now, Eliyahu will give us the clarity of understanding the Torah we have now. Mashiach's job is a much greater inyan. Mashiach's inyan is that will reveal Torah Chadasha. Torah Chadasha is a totally higher level. So here also, if you look closely, you see that there are two different dimensions. Eliyahu Navi's inyan is, so to say, Mashiach is going to reveal something much, much greater. But Eliyahu Navi will deal with the problems that we have in understanding Torah now, to reveal the Torah that, in other words, and that, Yesh Loimar, B'derech Efsher, perhaps we could say, will be a preparation or a build-up for the revelation of Torah Chadasha through Mashiach. Similarly, it comes, it says, Eliyahu will make peace, yeah? Sholom Eliyahu will make peace. Now, if you look at the Nevuas of Eliyahu, who's going to bring peace into the world? Mashiach. They'll beat their swords into plowshares, and thus will be Mashiach. Yeah, he's going to teach for Shaf. He's going to teach the nations not to fight. So who's going to do it? Eliyahu or Mashiach? So Yesh Loim again. It could be I'm totally wrong, but perhaps just a thought. Huh? So it could be that Eliyahu, Mashiach is not going to sit. Two people have a fight. If this pot and pan, if this belongs to this guy, to that guy, I don't think Mashiach is going to deal with that. Eliyahu will deal with that. All these petty things Eliyahu will deal with. Mashiach will bring you to a level that he wouldn't want to fight l'chatchila. He'll reveal to you, but Eliyahu, huh?
So what we need Eliyahu in that case?
So two things. First of all, as a preparation, but the ending of preparation, it could also be, if you think about it, even when they're happening simultaneously, you have, in order to be able to receive the Nyanim of Mashiach, you have, Mashiach will be killed both, but there's certain Indian mashal. Tchias HaMeisim says it will happen through Eliyahu. Why is it going to happen through Eliyahu? Because Eliyahu never died. So he has the koyach of Tchias HaMeisim. Huh? Whatever you want to call it. It's going to happen. He's going to bring so other places will happen through Mashiach. Then you have Chassidus B'chal has a whole different thing, a whole Chassidus has a whole deeper thing. Chassidus explains you have the difference between Malachim and Neshamas. Neshamas are more, Malachim come from Zivuk Chitzoni, external union, more of a spiritual union, but a spiritual union. Neshamas is like what Kabbalah calls Zivuk Neshikin. The neshamas come from zivuk zav and nukva. They come from a lower union, but it's more essential. It's a lower, but it's more pnimi. So it says malachim, the neshamas have a mile. They have the essence of the Eibishter, but they come down lower. Malachim don't come from such a high level, but they're more spiritual. They're more pure. Eliyahu has both miles. Sai he's a neshama, sai he's a malach. So Eliyahu he's going to equal out the milas of neshamas and the milas of malachim. I think in many things you could see, in a certain sense, Eliyahu, one thing to say is a preparation to Mashiach, that's for sure. But Mitzad Sheni, there also seems as even though it seems in certain places that he'll work together with Mashiach, even when Mashiach is there, there's still an union to be mekabel the pnimius, terasi shel Mashiach,